How stain-proof are different decking products? We put their warranties to the test on this episode of TimberTips. It's inevitable that someone at some point is going to drop a greasy burger or spill some wine on your deck. So what's the best decking product for the accident prone? Well, we took 4 different decking products and put them through a series of stain tests. For this experiment, we chose Cedar, which is a softwood decking, Ipe, which is a hardwood decking, TimberTech for capped composites, and Azek, which is 100% PVC decking. TimberTown loves and sells all of these products, so I invited Matt Reisinger from the popular YouTube channel The Build Show to help be an unbiased judge. For the first test, we dropped 4 common foods on each of the deck boards: mustard, ketchup, wine, and the greasiest burger we could find, and we waited about an hour to see what would happen. Now, Azek and TimberTech both have 30-year stain and fade warranties, so we expected those to perform well. After wiping the boards down with a little soap and water, the TimberTech looked the best. You couldn't see any stains. The Azek looked equally well. There was a slight hint of mustard left behind, but nothing a little elbow grease couldn't take care of. The Ipe was darker where the grease and the wine had been. I'm not sure if that's because the oil hadn't fully dried. Regardless, I think a little more elbow grease or a power wash would have done the trick. The Cedar, even though it was oiled, still let the wine soak into the board, which would make it really difficult for it to get out. The non-oiled Cedar did even worse. Next, we wanted to test the boards against sunscreen and bug spray. We labeled the boards with a B for bug spray and an S for sunscreen, soaked them as much as we could, and left them in the sun over the weekend. We may have gone a little overboard with this test, but we received some interesting results. After wiping the boards down with a little soap and water, we noticed the Cedar did remarkably well. I think the PPG stain was an excellent repellent. TimberTech also did great. The residue wiped right off. With the Azek board, you could see that it was affected, but it was hard to tell if it was from the sunscreen and bug spray or the adhesive from the tape. Lastly, the Ipe fared pretty well against the bug spray, but the sunscreen left a nasty residue on the surface. It was hard to tell if it was because of the Ipe oil or not. The bottom line, avoid spraying sunscreen, bug spray, or anything in a metal can on your deck. It's in a metal can for a reason, and it could void your stain and fade warranty. To get Matt Reisinger's take on these tests, be sure to check out his episode on The Build Show. You'll see a link in the description below. For information on all these products, you can go to TimberTown.com. Otherwise, be sure to hit subscribe, click on the notification bell, and we'll see you next week on TimberTips.